Ladies and gentlemen, will be parameters in main, because we will want to change them from run to run. Okay, we'll want to change them from experiment to experiment, and these parameters will have various values, which I'll attempt to dictate to you. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, the first parameter that we'll drag in will be contact rate, and this parameter will be what sort of parameter? Anyone tell? A rate, indeed. And it'll be a rate on a per day. Oh, this is worrying me that I want to check, make sure my time units are days. They are indeed. I don't know why. Okay, when I inserted that, I was thinking it would by default be per day, but it was per second. Okay, make sure it's per day. We don't want contacts occurring per second. So it's a per day rate, and its default value be 1.0. Okay? Is it dysfunctional?
No. Yeah.
It's okay now?
No, can't still.
It's problematic.
Let's try to back half from what you're doing.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's a problem. Okay, great. So 1.0 per day. Okay. Next, we're going to drag in another parameter, which is going to be the duration of so latency duration, or duration of latency, we'll call it latency. So this can be a latent period, and this is going to be 3 days. So how are we going to specify it? What sort of parameter is this going to be? It could be a double, but it'd be more specific if we made it a time parameter. And the units will be days, and ladies and gentlemen, it will be 3 days. Okay? Okay. Yeah, this is puzzling. Okay, 3 days. Next, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a duration of infectiousness. Duration of infectiousness. Okay? And great.
It's probably because you have something running on the computer. Is this uploading something here?
Okay. That's great. Thanks a ton, Winchell. Fantastic. Okay, so this next one, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to set the duration of infectiousness to be 7 days. Okay? Seven days. Yes.
What is the value for the contact rate? What's the default value?
1. Right. Default value for duration of infectiousness. Well, what sort of parameter will this be? Anyone?
Time.
This will be a time parameter, and it's going to be a value of 7 days. Okay? Good. Okay. Okay, next, I'd like to add a duration of immunity, okay? And that will be 270 days. Duration of immunity. What sort of parameter? Time. 270 days. Mark, you might want to make sure that you've got the appropriate units for all of these. Make sure they're all in days for these. Okay. Okay.
Make sure they're all in main.
These should all be in main, right? Next. Okay. So Winchell, you can grab the model I just posted, assuming it made it up there eventually. Yeah, it's up there, Winchell. Version 2. Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, duration of immunity is 270 days. Oh, sorry, not per day. I said rate? Oh, man, it should be time of days. 270. 270 days. Duration of infectiousness is 7 days. Duration of latency is 3 days. Right? Are we okay? Okay. Great. Ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So next, I'd like to go and set a transmission probability. For those familiar with mathematical epidemiology, this would correspond to the beta transmission probability, ladies and gentlemen, of 0.5. Okay? Great. Excellent. Okay, so we just set those up. And there's one more parameter that I'd like to add right now. Okay? And this parameter will be migration rate. Okay? Migration rate. And the value of this parameter, what do you think the type will be? Be a rate. This will be a per day rate. And the value will be 0.1. Okay? 0.1. Okay. Let's build. Now, I'm going to implement migration of people between cities. Are we ready for that? Okay. So we added these parameters, and the first we're going to use is migration rate. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to create an event, and this event will go in person, meaning each person will have a certain hazard rate of moving, okay? Now, we're going to drag this event in, and this is going to be called migration event, okay? Now, Alan stands ready. Alan stands on the prowl. Alan is ready to help. So, Alan, anyone need Alan's help? Okay.
So you put it in person?
Put it in person. Migration event. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Migration event. Okay. Now, this is going to be defined according to a hazard rate. So the trigger type of the migration, remember, events serve to trigger some action at a time of our choosing. They can schedule a whole series of actions or one. In this case, it's going to be schedule a whole series according to a hazard rate. So it's a rate-based migration event. Rate, okay? And the rate, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be given by that rate we just added to main. Remember that rate, migration rate? Remember this? Okay. Now, I'm troubled. That migration rate is troublingly high right now, but we'll come back to that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is a migration rate, and the rate is going to be given by main.migration rate. Okay, main.migration rate. Why main? Because it lives in Maine. It's found in Maine. Okay, and you'll notice that each person has, if you go up, it actually has knowledge of how to get to Maine and how to get to city because it's embedded within them hierarchically. Okay? Okay, they're going to have a migration event. Now, what's going to happen at that migration event? Well, they're going to go to a new city. So here's the migration event. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to pick a destination city in this migration event. We're going to give it a nice name. And then we're going to go to it. Okay? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, so what we're going to do is here, we're going to say city, destination city equals, okay, city, and we're going to ask for my city, get a randomly connected agent. Get an agent that's connected to you in the network, and we're going to set up that network for cities in just a minute. Okay, so we're going to get a neighbor city in that network, a city to which this is connected, in order to find that. And then,
Hey, could you blow that up?
sure. Okay. Now, you may wonder, why do I need this city thing here? Well, it turns out get random connected agent isn't smart enough to know it's returning a city. All it knows is returning some agent. So we have to actually tell it, hey, that's a city. Cities are only connected with cities. Okay? There may be a way we can avoid that in just a minute. And I'll see if I can go back and double check that annoyance. Okay. And then, ladies and gentlemen, after picking the destination city, they're going to go to it. Okay? Can we do this? Okay. Remember, within each city, we have a population of people. So when we have this migration event, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to say it's the person who's moving, this, myself, and I'm going to say go to population. And what's the new population? Anyone want to say? What's the new population to which they're going? If this is a city, what's that population? Well, we know they're going to this destination city, so what do you think's within that destination city? How do I get the population? What do I do to get the population within that city? Well, if I want to get my population, I'd say this dot population. So this is just a reference to a city. Here's a reference to another city. So what do I ask for to get its population? To get a reference to its population. Yeah, this dot population. Okay, I'm going to move to its population. Next, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to set my location within that city. Okay? I'm going to assume a new location within that city. Okay, so I'm going to say this dot set xy, and it would be kind of nice if I can just say new x, new y, just like that. And I'm going to do that. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say my x location, double, I'm going to declare this nice little name, new x, is this. And that's going to equal uniform from minus 50 to plus 50. In previous versions of the model, I used parameter values for this, and in general it'd be better to do that, but I'm going to do it here. So I'm going to get a new x, which is uniformly drawn from this, and a new y, uniformly drawn from that, and then I'm going to set my new location to be there. Is that okay? So, in short, let me put this up on the big screen. And I will share this model with you. So I'm going to get my destination city. Remember, do autocomplete is your friend. I am going to go to a new population. And what's that population? It's the population of the destination city. And then I'm going to generate a random number from -50 to +50, which would be my X location in that city. And I'm going to give it the nice name X, new X. And then I'm going to generate a random number between -50 and +50 and give it a new name, new Y. And then I'm going to set my X and Y values as the person to be this new X and new Y location within that new city. Are we okay with that? Ladies and gentlemen, let's try building. Okay? Okay, we're okay, but we're not quite done with this logical chunk of work. Let's go to main. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen, down main. Okay? Here's in main. Okay, so we're in main. We're going to scroll down to space and network here. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to set it to be a distance-based network with a connection range, ladies and gentlemen, of 250. Okay? Okay, now, I would argue that if we do that right now, a network will be established, but we won't see it. What do we need to do to see a network amongst cities? Go to city, and then what do we need to do? We need to go to the connections in the city. Do you remember this yesterday? And what do we need to do with those connections? We need to go down to the animation area and select draw line connecting agents. That's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it is. So this is in city, and they're a little bit above. One of the reasons it may be trouble to find, Dr. Yan, is they're a little bit above this area here, so you may have to scroll up.
I actually did it in main.
Yeah, you don't want to do it in main, because that would be to draw connections amongst mains, which isn't really a need. But you want to do it in city, because you're drawing connections between cities. What we did do in main, Olga, was in main we set it so to be a connection distance of 250. Okay? So build. So who would like Winchillian help? Okay, Winchell? Yep.
Show us the migration.
Sure. In the migration event occurs in person, and it's called migration event, and the code is as we see there. So what's Ellen, characterize the dysfunction?
So we have a destination city. It's saying that it doesn't recognize that variable.
Sorry. No, it's okay.
So-
I'll just give you an error message.
Oh, that's because it's not called this. It's right now it's called destination. So destination city should be destination city.
Oh, up here.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
That's
think
funny. They
That was 200 and something.
Okay, so
Where
it's
is it?
here.
270.
How do I know that people are moving? Because I see where people are popping up and disappearing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, I have a bad thing. Something bad happened to me. Let's go see what's. Okay, now you folks get to see me debug. Okay.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. So let's watch this. Okay, this is a fun part of the boot camp. So I'd like to go to the problems window or the console, and this just reported a bad thing happening. And this bad thing, the name of this bad thing, is a null pointer exception. Okay, and Winchell will have fun with this. Okay, so it is having problems finding the population of a destination city. I'm trying to go to this population, and it's finding problem. So evidently it couldn't find a randomly connected agent around it, evidently. So I think what's probably happening is that some of the runs, there's a city out there which is so far away from other cities that it's not connected to them. So that's my hypothesis. And there's two ways to deal with this. So first thing is, I want to make sure that I see the network among cities. I don't even see it clearly now when I ran that. So let me just make sure. Yeah, there are networks among cities, but some of them are disconnected. And if we try to move a person from one of these disconnected cities, it's going to try to move to La La Land, to nowhere. It can't find a connected city, and as a result, it's going to come back with a connected city that says no city. This destination city is going to be no city, and then it tries to go to it, and things blow up. So you're trying to go to no city. You can't go to no city. Yeah,
I didn't get that.
Carlita.
Mine were connected, so.
They were?
Depends on
The
your
random,
yeah.
It's random. It's randomness associated with this seed. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we could deal with this in a superficial way, or we could deal with it in a strong way. Let me show you the superficial way to suggest that you don't do this. Okay. The superficial way would be to say, okay, no problem. We'll just make cities connected at a longer distance. Okay? So we're going to have them not 250, but 2,500. And now all the cities will be connected with each other. Everyone will have a connection. And now people will move in a happy way. Okay? But ladies and gentlemen, that's not really a solution to the problem. It's just covering up the symptom. Covering up this, we change our model to avoid the problem rather than fixing the problem. So I'm going to change that back to 250 for now, and I'm going to go fix that problem, ladies and gentlemen, where it says migration event here. I'm going to check, is there a destination city? If destination city doubles equals null, if there's no city I found, then I have a choice. How do I handle that? Do I go to some random city, even though there's no connection, or do I stay put? And I'm going to stay put. So it's only if it's not equal to null. If it's not equal to null, then I will do these things. If it's equal to null, I'm not going to go anywhere. So this is what I made my code, just like this. This is more robust code. This is code that will handle the case of an isolated city. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, okay, ladies and gentlemen, okay, we'll do. Okay, what I will do though, this will be a good point for me to post the model so everyone can get it if you'd like to do so. And basically this is saying, hey, if I have a city to go to, do this. Now, a good practice would be to say that, exactly that. If I have a city to which to go, do so. So this would be join the city's population. Do you remember what these things, I called these things? They're called comment characters. They basically create a comment. I'd say, okay, pick a new location in that city. Now appear at that location. Now,
Fix it.
what's that?
It didn't seem to fix anything.
By that location? Should fix it. But you may be having a different problem than mine. What happens at yours?
They're all connected. I still get the error.
Okay, but is it the same error? or a different error.
Building currently doesn't have any of the required properties.
Sorry, can we go back to the code for a moment?
Sure. Sure.
Okay, so I arranged it so they're all connected.
So you don't have to put in these comments. I'm just putting them in to comment, to indicate what's going on. You don't have to put them in. These comments are ignored by any logic, but they're good for documentation. So you don't have to type these in. But, you know, I'm just showing what's going on. Okay.
That's my problem, is it? Okay.
Okay. I'm going to post this model with your leave.
Yeah. I'm trying to set the color.
Okay. Sorry. I'll be mumble. Okay. So here I'm going to Winchell. Okay. Here I'm going to post this model. Here we go. Boom. Posted. Boom. So this is now we're not quite done with the migration in the sense once we have networks in place in the city, we will complete the thought.